Day at their beautifully landscaped course on the outskirts of West Edmonton. On-site event coordinators are here to help, but hurry, availability is limited and booking fast.
Visit theranchgolf.com.
Photographers, start your cameras. Vision Credit Union's annual photo contest is back. We're asking you to show us the people, places, and moments that made you glad you chose this rural life. Maybe it's the view from your farm, a walk down Main Street, neighbors pitching in, a weekend at the rodeo, or a sunset down a back road. Share your photo to show why life in rural Alberta is a choice worth celebrating. Enter and vote at what'syourshare.ca.
Hey, it's Jamie from Green Drop Lawn Care, exploring Edmonton from the Science Center to Horlock Park. I see your lawns and cringe a little. Weeds are here. And you've got them, Edmonton. Take your lawn back with our guaranteed lawn care programs and unlimited weed control.
Green Drop has been Canada's lawn expert since 1979. And they're in your community, keeping your yard looking beautiful with affordable lawn care packages that include fertilizer, weed control, drought fighter, and more. Visit greendrop.com.
Get the inside scoop for your team on Fantasy Frenzy with Halley and Douglas on Sports 1440.
Presented by Wilhauk Beef Jerky, home of Alberta's best beef jerky.
.03, good morning. Thank you for joining us here on Fantasy Frenzy, brought to you by Wilhauk Beef Jerky, the home of Alberta's best beef jerky. Online at wilhaukbeefjerky.com, only available in Leduc. Go pay them a visit, tell them we sent you. Maybe you're grabbing a bag for the NBA Finals or the Stanley Cup Final. Maybe something else. Major League Baseball, Elks play. You're watching that at home, or you could come down to Sherlock's and watch it with me in Sherwood Park for the Elks watch party. Some cool new things. It's a little more interactive this year. I'm looking forward to getting that going for every road game around our fair city. Connor Halley, Brandon Douglas, and Donovan Paulson. Wait, no, Josh Fenwick with you here today. Well, he's not here to hear me mess that one up. He took a walk as soon as the show started, so we won't even worry about it. You can always reach us, 1-833-401-1440, or email Connor at sports1440.ca, Brandon at sports1440.ca. We'll take your texts, of course. A lot of texts rolling in here already. The ODB version would have been more fitting for today, coming in from Triple C in a truck with NBA Finals and New York involved. Well, you know, there's certain things we can play, certain things we cannot play. Genocracy says, I'll be there. There you go. We're at one. Come on down. Drink specials, food specials, and you'll probably leave with some sort of Elks memorabilia as well, which is always a bonus. Duke, good morning. Good show today. Sounding great.
It was a fun show, action-packed. We were kind of up against it, as is often the case, and great guests, great insight, covering as many topics as we can. So, yeah, beautiful, beautiful morning here in the studio. What's the outside looking like, Conza? The weather's actually supposed to be a little bit warmer, still some cloud cover, chance of thunderstorm this afternoon, but maybe not quite as bleak as the original weekend forecast had been looking even just a few days ago.
Yeah, temperature-wise, it felt quite nice, actually. Very cloudy, minimal blue sky when you're out there. I thought I felt raindrops when I was walking in, but I might have been just tripping. Like I thought I did, but I can't. It wasn't enough to really see it or anything. So maybe if there's anyone working outside, they can update us for sure. But I didn't really notice anything like that. If it holds up for the weekend, it'll be pretty good. I failed to mention soccer tonight. Canada and Ireland.
Footy.
Friendly with, a little bit on the line. Canada obviously still has that roster spot available. I really like what Nelson did in the game here against Uzbekistan in Edmonton. A chance to build on that. I believe they have until the 11th to actually finalize that last spot. So there's not a huge rush to do so, but tonight could obviously make a big impact for a few of those players trying to get that final spot. Also today, some NHL awards. Nick Suzuki wins the Selke. Very cool for him. Obviously getting traded from Vegas to Montreal, young in his career, becoming the captain. Just a little bit of pressure going along with that. And he's really developed quite nicely as a player, obviously making it onto the Olympic team and captaining the Canadians for a pretty good playoff run. And then Cole Caulfield gets the Lady Bing, Duke. An award that I've said many times. Who cares? I don't want my hockey players to win that award. That's great that there's sportsmanship, but it's hockey. It's a physical sport. It's not necessarily my cup of tea, but any surprises for those two award winners out in Montreal?
No, and the Selke is always an interesting one because we consider it more often than not a reputation type award. and over the course of the past 25 years, we've seen a few players really dominate it, right? Pavel Datsyuk and Patrice Bergeron, Ryan Kessler dipping in there at times. It's been a lot of the same names, and we're kind of seeing a little bit of changing of the guard. Two of the guys up for it this year are wingers, which is a very untraditional, unconventional position to win the award. It's almost always a centerman, and we almost kind of see that reflected in the voting here with Suzuki coming out on the top. Very deserving. Do not get me wrong. Very, very deserving. But all three finalists, I think, had a pretty good chance at it just from when you first hear the names that or your top three vote getters. I had an easy time, I should say, envisioning each of them taking home the hardware.
Yeah, 100%. As you said, reputation a lot of times will precede someone in the voting, it feels like, with this trophy. Gregor had some points last year about Leon Draisaitl and how his defensive game was. And again, didn't maybe get that recognition. Like, it kind of feels like you have to be in the conversation for a few years before the voters will put you through. Interesting, names like you mentioned. I'm looking at the Lady Bing here. Like Anze Kopitar there for that one. That would have been an interesting selection. But yeah, kind of the usual suspects, I suppose, and we'll see what happens. I got no issues with it. Just looking at some of the voters out there, like Jack Eichel in the conversation, Mitch Marner, a couple players for the Vegas Golden Knights, Sam Reinhart, that's Scott Wheeler's ballot of the Athletic. But yes, Nick Suzuki, 151 first place votes. I'd say that's probably pretty safe. 1-833-401-1440 if you'd like to get in on the conversation. Of course, you can always reach us. Last night, it was the Hurricanes in overtime, winning Game 2, a game that I proclaimed yesterday on this show as a must-win game for the Carolina Hurricanes, and didn't start out very well. Brett Howden, who continues to have a very good postseason, got things going in the first period with his 12th of the postseason. Then he'd get his 13th. This guy's showing up when it matters. But in the third period, it was the Carolina Hurricanes. And it took him a while to really get going here. Logan Stankoven gets his 10th. Jankowski, his first when it matters. And then Jordan Stahl on the power play had the deflection. Mark Stone obviously evens things up in the final few minutes. And then in overtime on the power play, the refs called a penalty. It was honestly refreshing to see because it was clearly a penalty. And Seth Jarvis makes them pay, just his 4th of the season. I saw a social media clip pop up, and it was Wyshynski and Merrick talking about how Seth Jarvis had been awful in the postseason. That was before the game. Obviously, he was going to get a big goal in this one, and they even the series up. Now, Game 3 shifts to Vegas. It's an interesting one where 2-0 leads, and I've proclaimed it, and I've had some pushback. Some people tell me 3-1, but I always say 2-0 is the worst lead in hockey. Once you get that goal, the momentum starts to build, and you find a way to get it done. But overall, Duke, pretty impressive performance from the Carolina Hurricanes in a game that they needed.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a kind of script flip from Game 1 where we saw the Hurricanes jump out to a 2-zip lead, and the pushback from Vegas came much quicker, and then we saw the team trade goals over the course of the rest of the contest. But this game, through its vast majority, Connor, I thought really fit the narrative of what we expected from this series. Tight checking, not a lot of space. Vegas doing such a good job of keeping things to the perimeter, taking away the center of the ice. And we know the Hurricanes will shoot from anywhere, but if you're Vegas and you're doing a good enough job from your defensive responsibilities where those outside shots, chances are easily swallowed up, easily blocked, steered away, then the chances of loose rebounds, funky bounces, or deflections and tips, that they get negated at such a higher rate than, say, we saw against the Montreal Canadiens from a Carolina offensive perspective. Now, with that being said, the Hurricanes, they still had shifts, moments where they seemed to put the pressure on a little bit, get some good zone time, even if there weren't a ton of grade A chances coming out of them. That has to be just encouraging enough for the group that they say, come on, we're only down 2. We're very capable of finding our way back into this game. And it's not until about halfway through the third that actually happens, where you break through with a great effort by Stankoven, obviously, to start with, on the breakaway. He's been great all playoffs long. And then, or not the breakaway, excuse me, the wraparound kind of deflection type play. And then the fourth line, when you need other people to step up because your first line has been disassembled by this point of the hockey game. They've shuffled things around, and it's Carrier with the great effort to stay onside, and then the kind of laying down pass over to Jankowski, who absolutely rips it. Former first-round pick of the Calgary Flames, Mark Jankowski, that is. I just really appreciated the resilience of Carolina, the same way I could appreciate it from Vegas in game 1 when they went down 2-0. And then it does seem like it's only a matter of time when you're talking about a group like the Hurricanes and their power play that it will find a way eventually. It's not always the case, but they do this time. What did you make of the decision to challenge the no-goal call by John Tortorella?
Man, you know that video I show you sometimes with I think he's Scottish or Irish, and he can't figure out why a kilogram of feathers and steel
weigh the same.
He's like, I don't get it. That's me when it comes.
I'm John.
I don't understand things in hockey. Offside is one of them. I'm like, what's possession, what's not, and then goaltender interference challenges. When you watch it in slow motion, you see, okay, the puck looked like it's covered, and the Vegas player pokes it through. There was the quick whistle, I guess. I wouldn't have challenged it just because of what was going on in the game. Like, the stakes seemed a little high. I like Tortorella's reasoning. Like you said, I would do it 10 out of 10. That's what you would do. You're probably also hoping that, the power play for for the Carolina Hurricanes continues the struggles that they've had. Hindsight's 2020. Even when they challenged, I thought it was a little bit risky, just given the circumstances. If you're down 3-1 or up 3-1, maybe you go for it. But
yeah, where either the safety net or the desperation factor plays a little bit more of a role. I'm right there with you. I didn't like the decision. I didn't. The combination of it being a tie game and then how late you are in the contest, where even if they don't score on the power play, you're taking away a couple minutes of offensive opportunity for your group, realistically, right? And that's, I say that with the full understanding that over the course of the game previous to that, Carolina had nothing going to the power play. They were just as effective offensively shorthanded as they were with the man advantage. But as I said, like, you kind of tempt fate a little bit by essentially just gifting them a power play. Do you really think that Tortorella looked at that and said, like, what is he challenging? And with that text came in earlier in the show, and I think maybe even Eddie might have asked when we had spec on, like, what was he actually challenging? Besides the fact he didn't like the result of the play. The puck does cross the line, but the whistle or intent to blow the whistle was pretty obviously passed. And then, there is pretty obvious contact with the goaltender from Barbashev, like with the pitchfork, the poke move. It's underneath Anderson. You can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Even, and we had lots of texts. Oh, it was loose. It was loose. No, it wasn't. It's underneath his chest. Even if it's not frozen at that time, it's not in a clear line of sight. And the ref's in good position. He makes the call pretty de facto right at the side of the net. I just thought it was a really low percentage play by Tortorella to throw the hypothetical flag at that time of the hockey game.
And I will say, like, I feel like, the last 10, 15 years of hockey, we've seen that goal count before.
Well, and that's almost the more frustrating side of it is that, as you point, like, we don't really know. We don't know the rules. We don't know what qualifies as this, what qualifies as that. And that comes in every form, from goaltender interference to offsides to even icings now at this point with the hybrid system. It's everything is chaos. And unfortunately, it leaves us asking more questions, but also makes for really high entertainment value more often than it doesn't.
Yeah. Hey, at the end of the day, the call was made. The refs weren't going back on it. And now we got a really interesting series going into Vegas. And I tweeted it last night. I was like, I hope Carolina wins. Like, obviously, I probably want them to win anyways. But I just want more of this series. Like, the entertainment we're getting has been top notch. And if you're a fan of those two teams, you might have to go to the doctor. Have a glass of red wine because the heart rate was probably going crazy last night. AZ texting into 1-833-401-1440. Ireland has a really young team. So if Canada doesn't come away with at least a 3-0 or 4-1 win, I think it's going to be a huge disappointment heading into the World Cup. Ultimately, if they still win, it's good, but they need a good result. Yeah, for sure. I mean, a chance for guys to kind of get the good mojo flowing, right? You can get a goal, whatever it might be, feel strong in your defensive strategy. I'm with you. I think that's a chance for them to have a really good game and get some good vibes going into next Friday. Oddball says, if there's anyone to win a Lady Bing, it's a Oompa Loompa. You know, and like, you don't have to be Eric Lindros or Milan Lucic, Mark Messier. But the Lady Bing, I don't know. The player adjudged to have exhibited the best type of sportsmanship and gentlemanly conduct, combined with a high standard of playing ability. I like the second part of that, Duke. I like the high standard of playing ability. And all these guys, like Jacob Slavin winning, heck yeah, I'd take him on my team.
That's kind of was going to be my question. And it's often the example, at least in these past couple of years when he's been a finalist and winning it. My counter to it about, like, would you describe Jacob Slavin as a soft player?
No. Well,
and that's
Kopitar,
right?
Kyle
Like,
Connor. I'd take these guys on my team in a second.
You'd take him on your team, but even if you talk about Kyle Connor, like, yeah, that's an offensive, pure goal scorer. You don't often, or maybe most regularly, find him in the hardest areas of the ice where the likelihood of taking penalties or getting into some of the more rough and tumble nature of the game comes, like, it's more likely. But you absolutely can't say that the same about a guy like Kopitar, who is also a multi-time Selke winner. Jacob Slavin, he's maybe the best defensive defenseman in the entire NHL. And he's physical, but he's also just really good with his stick, and that's how he does most of his defending. And he still takes very few penalties as a defenseman who does most of his work with his stick. That's really impressive, and I think should be rewarded in some capacity or another.
It's like when Ryan O'Reilly won it.
That's as hard-nosed of players you'll find.
He took one penalty the entire season. Which, you know, if a guy like that, if he's taking a penalty, you're probably okay with it. Can you name the 3 players who played and did not take a penalty all season?
This year?
No, to win the Lady Bing. They took 0 penalties.
No, I wouldn't have a prayer.
Yeah, who would? I had to look it up, obviously. Sil Apps won it in the 40s, as did Bill Mosienko. And then in 1948-49, defenseman Bill Quackenbush played 60 games,
Great
no
name.
penalties. Yeah, a terrific name. There's got to be some Quackenbushes out there still. But yeah, Slavin, when he won it, took 1 penalty. 52 games played as a shutdown defenseman. It's a cool award, just not for me personally. Gene says, I'm already checked out of hockey. Let's go Knicks and let's go Elks. Yeah, Elks tomorrow, 5 o'clock, taking on the Ottawa Red Blacks. So we'll be having lots of discussion about that on the show today, probably carrying into Low Tide and the Jason Greger Show. So keep it locked here on Sports 1440. More preview as well tomorrow on the Saturday Sports setup getting going at 9 a.m. We'll take a break here. When we come back, more text 1-833-401-1440. It's Fantasy Frenzy, brought to you by Wilhawk Beef Jerky.
Need a new ride for road trips, errands, or just life on the go? Go Auto offers a massive selection with over 15,000 new and used vehicles to choose from. With over 70 locations across Western Canada, finding your next ride has never been easier. Whether it's a roomy SUV for the family, a sleek car for the open road, or a rugged truck for your weekend adventures, you'll find it here at a price you'll love. Explore thousands of vehicles today at goauto.ca.
I'm good to go. With Mortgages to Go, you'll be good to go. Mortgagestogo.ca says yes when the banks say no. That's why Alberta has trusted Mortgages to Go for over 23 years. If you need cash and have equity in your home, you're approved instantly. Guaranteed. Call 1-888-888-5998. That's 1-888-888-5998. With Mortgages to Go, you'll say, I'm good to go.
Hey there, I'm in the Fountain Tire sidecar, making a list of the things I'm doing this spring. 1. Saving you money, with up to 20% off select tires until June 13th. 2. Water skiing, tricky in a sidecar, but fun. And 3. Saving you more money, with mail-in rebates of up to $100 off a set of 4 select tires and $50 off a $150 service with the purchase of 4 select tires. Oh, that's 4 things. Oh well, restrictions apply. Book online at fountaintire.com. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
Our new McCafe crafted sodas just drinks or something more. Like Sprite Berry Bliss, Creamy Strawberry Coke, and Orange Dream. All swirled with fizzy flavor and topped with silky cold foam. Only at McDonald's. At participating McDonald's restaurants in Canada.
Who's that working on the underground utilities over there? All-Star Construction, that's who. What about the street lighting? Yep, All-Star Construction. And the directional drilling, hydrobacking, neighborhood renewal, and telecommunication work? Yep. Since 2009, All-Star Construction has been doing all that and more, shaping and building Edmonton communities for land developers all around Edmonton. That's what All-Star Construction is all about.
Just in time for the big game, score big savings at the Brick. Save up to $1,300 off sofas. Save up to 50% on open box TVs. Plus, save up to 40% on select mattresses. And Friday to Monday, score even bigger with limited time specials and amazing door crasher deals in every department. Like the Arbor Queen bed, just $199. Or a Frigidaire top freezer fridge, just $349. See store for details and exclusions. The Brick, saving you more.
It's time to hit the greens. Elevate your golf game with Country Club Tour Golf Academy. No matter your experience, our PGA of Canada teaching pros are here to help. Enjoy lessons year-round between our 7 CCT golf courses and 2 state-of-the-art indoor facilities. Choose the location convenient for you. We offer private lessons, group lessons, expert club fittings, and junior tabs. Visit our website to learn more and get ready to take your game to the next level. Booking is easy. Go to countryclubtour.com/golf academy and schedule your lesson today.
Hey there, it's Brandon Douglas from Sports 1440. I was tired of slow, unreliable internet connections, so I signed up for Starlink. It's fast, reliable even in bad weather, and has made streaming for movie nights and online gaming so much better. The summer doesn't mean a break from watching sports, and I've been streaming all the games seamlessly when at the family farm, despite the remote location. If you're ready for a better internet experience, you can order online in 2 minutes at starlink.com/radio or call 1-888-GO-STARLINK.
I've got some good news if you've been thinking about a heavy-duty truck. The 2026 Ram 2500 Black Express is now at St. Albert Dodge. You've got 20-inch black aluminum wheels, black Mopar side steps, body color, bumpers and grille, and a sport performance hood. Available in all the colors for $68,990. Plus, new this year, Ram's best-in-class 10-year powertrain warranty. Now's the time. Head up the trail and see how easy it is to do business at St. Albert Dodge.
From the locker room to your radio, Sports 1440 is Edmonton's sports leader. Real talk, big personalities, and your texts. It's interactive. It's fun. It's where Edmonton talks sports. Sports 1440.
The puck is passed up through the neutral zone, and here's a breakaway. He's coming in hot. He shoots it. Oh no, a broken stick.
When it comes to performance, quality parts matter. Napa Auto Parts has all the reliable parts, tools, and more to keep your vehicle running like a playoff contender. With over 85 locations in Alberta, visit your local Napa store today or shop online at napacanada.com. That's Napa know-how.
For over 60 years, the folks at Diablo Boots have been selling the best Canadian-made boots. Handcrafted in Winnipeg, Canada West makes the best quality cowboy, biker, and work boots for Diablo Boots with replaceable soles and heels. Why buy cheaper quality like Ariat, Justin, and Red Wing made in China when Canadian-made is better? Support Canada's workers and Diablo Boots for the best boots. So save on boots by Save On Foods. That's Diablo Boots, 3340 Gateway Boulevard on the east side of Save On Foods. Canada West and Diablo Boots, the 2 best names in the boots business.
Who should start? Who needs to hit the bench? Find out with Fantasy Frenzy with Halley and Douglas. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by Will Hawk Beef Jerky, home of Alberta's best beef jerky.
It's 11:25. Welcome back to Fantasy Frenzy here on Sports 1440. Connor Halley, Brandon Douglas, Josh Fenwick with you here in the Sports 1440 studios. Brought to you by Will Hawk Beef Jerky, the home of Alberta's best beef jerky. Go check them out. Get some for the game tomorrow night as the Elks taking on the Ottawa Redblacks in Ottawa. Should be a fun one. This segment is brought to you by elksnation.ca, 2 weekly podcasts. Eddie Steele, Declan Kruger, breaking down the green and gold. Going to be really good for their Monday editions of the show to recap the games and articles and more. elksnation.ca. Just on the topic of that, here at Sports 1440, the week leading up to every home game, we're going to be giving away 2 tickets. Very simple. All you have to do is text ELKS to 1-833-401-1440 the week leading up to a home game, and you'll be entered to win the draw. So that means, I guess, what, the 13th? What is the Monday that week? I guess maybe it's the 15th. Yeah, you just text in that week, ELKS, and you'll have a chance to win 2 tickets to the game. Pretty cool. All season long. It's Sports 1440. Depth chart released. Cody Fajardo, starting quarterback. How about that? Middle linebacker spot. Nick Anderson listed as number 1 on the depth chart. I think Mogensen will get in there as well. Duke, I don't know if you had a chance to peruse this yet, but I don't think any big surprises when you look at this one. I just get more excited about this offensive line and the capabilities, especially the interior.
Yeah, I actually opened it up as soon as we got going with the program here, and were there gonna be any surprises this time around? Right? I mean,
unless someone popped up on the injured list, but
and we actually get a couple guys back available, including Cordell Jackson, who'd been on the injury list most of the week here, but he's going to be good to go and available. And then after that, we're kind of seeing this team at largely full force. Obviously, a couple notable absences in the form of Brandon Barlow, who's going to be out for the season, which is disappointing for the defensive front. But offensively, I really want to see this team in regular season action. And we know the Red Blacks were the worst team in the league last year. We chatted with AJ Jakubek on the Kerry Show this morning, and he's the team broadcaster. He covers them day to day. There's just like us here in Edmonton, you always want to be positive, be optimistic, and there's some position groups that seem to be substantially improved for Ottawa. I still kind of look at this team and say probably near the bottom of the standings in both the East and the overall of the CFL. So as a result, it tees up as a good spot for Edmonton to get their season off on the right foot, which they have not done, well, in memory, recent memory, not all of memory, of course, but getting it, just starting the season with a win. They haven't done that in how long? I think it would go a long way to reinvigorating the fan base ahead of the home opener and still another couple weeks time, as you said, with our ticket giveaways, because they're going to have a bye in week number 2. It's funny, you said last night's hockey game must win for the Hurricanes, and I said, are you sure it's not a can't lose? I see this season opener for the Elks as a can't lose football game.
Yeah, and I think Gregor's been kind of on that thing as well, like a win, and then you got the hype going into the home opener. I just think you need a good performance. Like if you lose and you're like impressed with certain things, I think that could go a long way as well. But yeah, a win would absolutely be massive. I'm liking Luther in the slot, number 88. As I said, I watched with the preseason. The number caught me because 88 for a receiver is a sick number. Just looking at the Elks team here on the depth chart, only one receiver. Oh, 2. He and Mathis, numbers in the 80s. Bring it back, young kids. But after the catch, I think he can make some plays. A lot of familiarity, though. And you just look along that secondary, Ross, Jackson, Garnes, Williams, Ford. Familiarity. The linebacking core with Logan, Anderson, Dublanco. Good to see. Carney, new addition. Brinkman was here last year. You got Robbie Smith, Noah Taylor going to get some reps as well. So looking forward to seeing how this cohesiveness with the unit and how it helps them next season, or this season, I suppose. HVAC Nick says TSN releases their top 10 players. No Elks on it. Would Rankin not be a top 10 player when healthy? Well, I think so. He was 15, Nick. We talked about this yesterday on the show, maybe the day before, about how the Elks have 4 players in the top 50. I mentioned it to Gregor. I thought Rankin being outside the top 10 was a bit of a joke. And we even had Farhan Lalji, and Gregor brought it up to him, and he said, he had him as RB1 in the league. It was just the devalue position of running back. But Farhan even went on to say, but for the Elks, it's really important. They need Justin Rankin to continue the things he was doing. I've said for a long time that I think that the CFL, you kind of has to set up the run. But with the Elks, I think that Justin Rankin can be so efficient running the football and receiving that he can help them get into really good spots. And, it's a whole lot easier when you're going 2nd and 2, 2nd and 3, rather than an incompletion on the first down or taking a sack, obviously. I'm not telling you guys anything you don't know. But I think Justin Rankin, to me, I think by the end of this season, he's in the MOP conversation. And it'll probably go to a quarterback because that's the way these things going. But I think he's going to impress a lot of people. Kyle says, Rankin greater than Bijan. Well, I've never had Bijan Robinson in fantasy. Maybe I did. And Algier takes all of his stuff. All the big money plays, the touchdowns. Deanocracy said, you guys were talking about doing a best of show for episode 1000 yesterday. If we get there. It'd be better if you guys did impromptu acting sessions you guys have done. Yeah, we like to role play a little bit here on the show. It's mostly like built out of sarcasm, though, because there's just a crazy take that we both disagree with, and we try to make it look to be as outlandish as it is. But it's been a while. I'm sure we'll get there. I'm sure we'll get some wild Darnell Nurse trade propositions, and we'll dive into it. Some news and notes from around the sporting world. The Chicago Bears moving closer to Indiana. Earlier today, the Bears board of directors voted to advance their stadium development in Hammond, Indiana. Now, Hammond, Indiana, Duke, do you know where that is?
It's like just across the border from Illinois.
Yeah, it's essentially Illinois. Like it's a hop and a skip from Chicago.
I believe the actual commute time, let's just say you're actually kind of at Chicago city center, it is shorter to get to this location in Indiana than it is to the other proposed location of Arlington Heights, which is kind of in the Chicago suburbs.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's actually a shorter distance away, but it does in fact take you out of the state.
Now, if you lived in Evanston or Glenview of Chicago, the GCA, it's a bit of a trek, but it's going to be a lot cheaper. It's going to make sense. It's actually close to Gary, Indiana. Do you know who's from Gary, Indiana?
Gary.
Michael Jackson. And the Jackson 5.
Among other things.
100%. So
best known for other works.
It's following in the tradition, like the Boston Patriots, as they once were in New England. Foxborough's outside. The Niners, obviously well documented, quite far out of San Francisco, more into Santa Clara. Even in the NHL, the Ottawa Senators, isn't the Canadian Tire Center like
it's in Canada,
like way too far for a lot of people?
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
the Phoenix Coyotes becoming the Arizona Coyotes because they're playing in Scottsdale and wherever else. Sunrise,
yeah.
Oh, Sunrise
is Florida, yeah.
Right.
These owners want to do what's best for them. That's disappointing for me because I really do like I would love to go to Soldier Field in Chicago.
Well, you still have a chance. It's not like the state's going to be built overnight.
It's true. I'd have to make a trek down there, like bucket list.
Just do the go in the dead of winter and go do a full NFC North tour, but alternate so you get inside, outside. The frozen tundra, then the confines of US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, then Soldier Field, and then Ford Field.
I mean, hey, if the schedule agrees.
Just take a month off and go see them all.
Is that the most friendly division for travel?
Without a doubt.
That is crazy
right?
how close they are. Yeah. 30-minute flight each way.
They're all, great. Like they're all on the lake or a lake in that kind of little pocket of the region. And like anything about it, like NFC West, obviously you're staying in time zone for the whole thing. I think the worst is probably the AFC South. AFC West is not great either. LA, Denver, Kansas City, and what am I missing? Vegas. So you only jump in a couple time zones. Missouri's in Central.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going from Pacific all the way to Central. But like the AFC South, Houston, Indianapolis, Jacksonville, Tennessee. Same thing. You're only moving one time zone, Central to Eastern at any point. But the actual distance between each of those places is pretty big.
Yeah. If you're Tennessee, you're kind of central with it.
Yeah.
If they were to do the redivision alignment type thing, like you could have the California division essentially. We'll just include Vegas. It's really Seattle that makes it tough. Like it would be like Seattle, Denver, Arizona, Kansas City.
Okay. And then you just want a California division?
And then you just do a California division plus Vegas. Now, you could go with Arizona instead of Vegas, but like if you did Dallas, Houston, the Saints, and I guess the Falcons would be the next closest. You got one right there. You could have the Florida division as well with Carolina. There's things you could do if you really cared about travel. I guess they don't. It doesn't really matter.
My point there, Connor, you play one game a week.
Mm-hmm.
Does travel really matter the same as it does in an NHL schedule build, NBA schedule build, and of course an MLB schedule build where you're literally playing every day? I don't think it does. I get it, the recovery and all that for the reason they only play once a week. That's fine. Like we're well past that. We're not going to see more than one game a week, the exception of the short turnaround for Thursday Night Football, etc. But the travel is, to me, really a non-factor.
I think it plays a role, like for some teams, like if you're Seattle, like you got to go a long ways all the time. I think over a season, it might actually do something, but week to week, I don't know. Heck, when I travel though, Duke, I'm pretty lazy that first day. So
you're also not a professional athlete.
Not
with the benefit of, getting on, like you can sleep as for the most part as much as you want.
Well, I wish.
You get the benefit of like the premier recovery methods that are at your disposal through massage, physiotherapy, whatever, right? That's all at your disposal. So I just go back to like, it's one game a week.
The Rams will fly 15,858 air miles because they're going to Melbourne. So let's just call that 16 for the sake of an argument.
Okay.
The Browns are doing 1,800. Their furthest trip is the Bucks, I believe.
Yeah, but guess what? Nobody's scheduling the Browns for a primetime game overseas or something.
It's one of those things that I think, like, if you hated travel and that sort of thing, you might factor it in. Like, maybe I don't want to sign with a West Coast team because there are so many East Coast teams. If you wanted to compete, like the Lions are great. You have so many, as we said, it's that division. Jets, Bills, Giants, Eagles, Ravens, Commanders are like, even the Steelers, Browns, like everyone is so in tight there. California teams have it going against them. Long travel, high taxes.
Yeah, but that could be the same for every sport.
Yeah, it's true. It is true. 1-833-401-1440. Kyle says, Jags have it the worst. Isn't their home stadium in London?
Oh, maybe someday.
They moved to Orlando or something.
Will the NFL just expand to add its London team or a full like Euro division, like 4 teams like London, Munich, Barcelona, and Paris? Or will they just move the Jags to be the London Jaguars?
I don't see it happening. I know people say like it's inevitable with what they're doing, but it just makes some hiccups. Like if you go...
The logistics of it seem way too much to actually work into a legitimate schedule.
I'm with you. Like, so you're going to have 8 teams per year fly out to London? Or do you, like, you if you had 2 teams, you could go play back to back, I suppose.
That's what I like. I wouldn't see expansion until you added a full division.
Mm-hmm.
Because then you would just do essentially a month-long road trip and play your entire division. Like when you play that division in your schedule that year, you play them all at once.
Yeah.
Now that's tough. A full month away, that's brutal. Or maybe 2-week segments, one at the start of the season, one at the end of the season. I don't know. They'd get creative and find out what's the best logistically way to make it do. But back to the thing of logistically, that's a big hurdle. Because I just finished saying I don't think the travel's a big deal. We're taking a different conversation when you're crossing the Atlantic Ocean.
Especially when you are a Pacific time zone team.
Oh, for sure.
An extra 5-hour flight or whatever it might be. And then you go there and it's bangers and mash for the entire time.
Good by me. Well, that's only when you're in London. When you're in Barcelona, it's tapas. In Munich, sausage and beer. And in Paris, baguettes and wine.
Like when the Bills used to play in Canada, all they got was poutine.
Yep.
And Tim Hortons. That's all you're allowed. We'll take a break. When we come back, more text 1-833-401-1440. It's Fantasy Frenzy here on Sports 1440, YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram, and Twitch, brought to you by Will Hawk Beef Jerky.
With Play Alberta, backing the home team goes beyond the bets. That's because your picks have provincial impact. Play Alberta is the only app in the province that puts all revenue directly back into supporting programs and services that Albertans rely on every day. By investing in the General Revenue Fund, every play, bet, and buy made on Play Alberta helps make a difference across the province. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
Attention Alberta construction pros. For over 50 years, Japa Equipment Rentals has been your go-to for top-notch equipment and stellar service. Whether you need rentals or expert maintenance, we've got you covered. Stop by our Edmonton or Calgary locations today.
Hi, I'm Colin Livingston, president of Cantork. We've been tightening bolts and redefining our industry for 25 years. Yes, a quarter century. And we're just getting started. Check us out at cantork.com. Our tools age better than I do.
Listen up, friends. Operation Pizza is a go at Papa John's. They're introducing new personal pizzas just in time to celebrate the premiere of Toy Story 5. These adventure-sized pies come in new exciting flavors like Sheriff's Roundup, Space Ranger-oni, and Reach for the Pie. Or take your personal pizza to infinity and beyond by creating your own flavor just for you. Order 2 or more with Papa Pairings and get yours for only $9.99 each. New personal pizzas are ready for takeoff. See Disney and Pixar's Toy Story 5 in theaters June 19th.
Get ready for a night of rock with the Gene Simmons Band. Monday, November 30th at Silent Ice Center in Nisku. The Gene Simmons Band, performing your favorite classic hits. Monday, November 30th at Silent Ice Center in Nisku. Tickets on sale now at silenticecenter.com. Don't miss the Gene Simmons Band.
Beer League Slow Pitch. It's an Alberta summer tradition.
I got shortstop. I'll take pitcher. Yeah, I'm just here for the dugout snacks.
When you're playing on the field, you need serious fuel, and there's only one MVP. Will Hawk Beef Jerky. Load up on Alberta's best beef jerky and hit a home run with the team. It's the perfect snack for your summer sports.
Will Hawk Beef Jerky, because you can't have summer fun with salad. Only available in Leduc.
Action Electrical's projects team takes the field, folks. Ready to execute the entire play for new commercial builds.
Absolutely. They're masters of design build, sketching strategy from initial blueprints to core electrical infrastructure. The team never misses on complex projects.
Known for handling big league constructions and major renovations, ensuring flawless execution, hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Hot coffee, hotter takes, and the sports stories that matter. Check out Kevin Carrion's weekday mornings from 7 to 11 on Edmonton's sports leader, Sports 1440. Be part of the conversation. 833-401-1440.
Hi, it's Jason McCoy. You know, music's given me a lot of great moments, but nothing means more than time with my dad. When he was diagnosed with prostate cancer, a simple PSA blood test was key in detecting it early, and we got more years, more laughs, and more memories. Guys, it's a quick test that just might end up saving your life.
Join the Princess Auto Motorcycle Ride for Dad in Edmonton, Saturday, June 13th. Register or donate at ridefordad.ca.
Debt can take over your life. The stress, the constant worry. It can feel like you're drowning. When people come to see me, they're often anxious and feeling hopeless. But when I explain how I can help them get out of debt, those feelings melt away. I'm Parveen Middleton, licensed insolvency trustee at BDO here in Edmonton. I will create a personalized debt relief plan so you can move forward with confidence. Call 1-833-BDO-TALK or visit bdodebt.ca to discover your debt-free future.
Get the inside scoop for your team on Fantasy Frenzy with Halley and Douglas on Sports 1440.
Presented by Will Hawk Beef Jerky, home of Alberta's best beef jerky.
.45. Welcome back to Fantasy Frenzy here on Sports 1440. Connor Halley, Brandon Douglas, Josh Fenwick with you here. in the Sports 1440 studios in West Edmonton Mall. Text us 1-833-401-1440. Emails Connor, Brandon, Josh, followed by @sports1440.ca. Our own individual emails if you want to reach out. Following us here on Fantasy Frenzy, we've got the Lowdown with Lowtide, LT, Declan Kruger back from Italy, and Josh Fenwick. They'll be joined by Steve Lansky of Big Mouth Sports, the youngest ever producer on Hockey Night in Canada. And then on the Gregor Show from 2 to 6. Well, we're trying to go to Ottawa, talk some Red Blacks. We'll talk some hockey as well, some NBA. Of course, you got Game 2, Knicks and Spurs from Frost Bank Center in San Antonio.
Did not know that was its name.
Now you know.
Doesn't quite roll off the tongue the same as Madison Square Garden.
No, it doesn't.
Do they consider Frost Bank the Mecca of Texas?
I don't think so. Wouldn't it be Jerry's World?
Probably.
I've never heard of Frost Bank Center.
What's Frost Bank? Is it a bank?
It must be a bank. Frost Bank. Home of the Iceman. I don't actually know.
Does he cometh?
Oh, absolutely. Almost too much.
Okay.
Anywho, also Button, Spec, Low Tide, Wanye Gretz will be joining us. So keep it locked here on Sports 1440. Then you got little Blue Jays baseball at 6 o'clock as we'll join Jays Orioles in progress from B-More. Oh, wait. Is it in Toronto?
This one's in the 6.
Okay.
They were in Baltimore for that 4-game set before Atlanta.
Against B-More.
Yeah.
Do you like those jerseys?
I actually do. The B-More jerseys, I'd like them more if it said something other than B-More on it, I think. But I really like the jersey design and the colors. I do.
My only issue is that the Orioles just have such good colors. Like, I don't get why the green comes in.
Well, why are Boston City Connect jerseys baby blue and banana yellow?
Chargers envy.
I guess that's one theory.
That's all I got. I like the Blue Jays. Like, you add black. That's cool.
It's not black.
Midnight blue.
It's midnight blue.
And then
what are they? It's as close as you can get to being black without being black.
Like, I think every team is more than welcome to make a black jersey, right? Like, every team could do it.
Right.
It'd be cool. But they kept their blue and red, which I think is important. Some teams just throw it out the window. The one team that I grant permission to do this would be the San Diego Padres, because they can do it all.
Those ones are awesome. Their City Connects. It's almost like they're like Miami Vice colors, but they're kind of splattered on there everywhere.
Yeah.
With reckless abandon. I wonder if even every jersey's the same.
You think that'd be kind of cool, actually.
Like, each one's unique.
Yeah.
Like a genuine tie-dye type theme.
Yeah.
We might have stumbled on something here. No idea for the Riverhawks for a bonus theme night this year.
And then when you do the end of game auction, it's one of a kind.
Yeah, it is one of one. That's a huge collector's item.
I want to just look at all the MLB City Connect uniforms. Who do I actually like? The Braves go kind of retro, right? I think theirs is cool. Boston, I can't say I like. Seattle, I love the jersey. I don't like the black band. Other than that, though, Pittsburgh is kind of cool. Looks retro. It's fun. I think that's kind of the cool thing. And obviously for them, you're just making money because everybody has to buy one.
I think I like St. Louis's.
The Lou?
The Lou.
Yeah.
Double cardinal.
Although, what do our good friends across the pond call the Lou? That's the bathroom,
the
right?
can.
So
I'm looking closer. I don't love that's like the red pinstripes. Like, there's red pinstripes on the red.
It's a little subtle.
Yeah, I'm not sure I love that. If it was just solid, I'd like it more. Yeah, I like Miami's.
Mm-hmm.
Atlanta's actually look very similar to the jerseys that we were planning on getting for Tropic Slow Pitch. That kind of color scheme.
Red, white, and blue?
The powder blue with the pink accenting.
I kind of like the Diamondbacks as well. Purple and blue.
I haven't got that far down the list yet.
I mean, maybe I'm on a different year here.
I'm on the MLBshop.com.
You might buy one.
What team did you say?
The Diamondbacks.
Oh, did you say the Giants already?
No, I did not.
Detroit's are so boring. Just Motor City written across it with, I think, a weird like a gradient black to blue in the middle. Lame. Oh yeah, these D-backs ones are sick. Serpientes?
Yeah, that's the one.
That is sweet. I'd get one of those in a heartbeat. Chicago looks like they're trying to be the Bulls. The White Sox ones, that is.
Serpientes.
The Nationals are terrible. I love the Brewers one, just Wisco. Maybe I'm just a sucker for places change, like shortening their name. Be more Wisco. An Espanol Serpientes. Tejas for the Rangers. I think that's Texas. I'm not fluent in Spanish, but I get by.
It's like
Yankees are, no, that's the Mets. Terrible.
What if the Riverhawks got one and just put Edmo on theirs?
Yeah, well, based on track record here, I'd be a sucker for it. I'd be like, this is the best jersey I've ever seen.
The Royals is kind of cool too.
Yeah, I like the Royals one. This should be just a thing next week. We power rank, or that's the middle of the summer. Middle of the summer, slowest part. No World Cup games that day because they can't possibly play on a Monday for some reason.
We just call it Brandonations, and it's top 5.
Just the biggest rip. No. I wouldn't just do a top 5. I'd power rank every one through 32.
I like that.
Or you'd call it a tier list.
Yeah,
right?
That might be easier.
That would probably be easier as well because then I could just. And here's the reality: I would just have all the ones I think that are good S tier, all the ones I think are bad F tier. Nothing in the middle.
We're going pass fail.
Yeah, it's a binary system. You get a 1 or you get a 0.
Did you get to the Rockies?
Yeah,
that looks cool, but I got to see it on the field. I would love the NHL to do this. I mean, they did it a couple years ago.
The reverse retro is a little bit of a different idea, but yeah, the Rockies. This one is so 90s.
Yeah. Like, could you imagine the Oilers trotting out in like a green and brown jersey, just like City Connect or green and gold? Like they just take the Elks color scheme.
I'm seeing this because once again, I'm just on the MLB Shop website. So when I click Colorado, I get the entirety of the City Connect memorabilia page, and they have a jacket. It's a Nike jacket, like purple sleeves. On the back, it's like a circle logo, just CO, kind of in the state flag colors with the mountain. This is a sweet jacket. I couldn't pull it off. Declan could. Declan's, as Low Tide pointed out yesterday, he's very fashion forward.
And it's a clearance item right now, it looks like, too.
$118. That's probably American.
They're pretty much paying you to get it.
They're giving it away.
Rick says, Edmo, facepalm, laughing emojis. Well, what else do we go with here?
Just, no, do the Elliot Friedman method and just take all the vowels out. That's kind of tough when the city starts with a vowel, but just Diminton.
That'd be funny. Joel Cena Truck says Eagles were rock powder blue yellow before anybody else. I'm sure they weren't the first. I'm sure there was an old soccer team that did it before them.
Footy.
Back in the day. Maybe rugby, cricket. I like the Eagles Kelly Green jersey, but I feel like when they do the Photoshop of it, it looks more crisp. And then on the field, it doesn't look as good.
It doesn't pop quite the same. I do love the Kelly Greens, though. I'll never say a bad thing about it.
Yeah. And I like when they use that kind of the retro eagle logo.
Yeah. It's way like the actual full wings out, then kind of just the head.
Yeah.
The kind of more minimalist version of it.
That's a clean look. No doubt about it. You get those versus the Cowboys wearing their white jersey. Well, I even like the Cowboys blue jersey probably a little bit more. Their Thanksgiving classic is great. That music means we're done. We'll be back on Monday to do it all over again. Enjoy your weekend, everybody. Appreciate you joining us on the program. If you'd like to, go to YouTube, give us a view, give us a like, a thumbs up, and subscribe. Sports 1440 AM. Or check the podcast wherever you get them from. Low Tide up next, followed by Gregor, then Jay's Baseball on the AM stream. If you are, or on the AM feed, if you're streaming, it'll be Fox Sports Radio all night long. Let's get to a Sports 1440 update with the Duke, brought to you by Wilhauk Beef Jerky, home of Alberta's best beef jerky, online at wilhaukbeefjerky.com. Only available in Leduc.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Game 2 of the NBA Finals tonight from San Antonio. The New York Knicks with a 1-0 series lead. Tip-off scheduled for 6:30 in Texas. CFL week number 1 continuing tonight with the Bombers and Stampeders opening up their respective seasons in Calgary. Kickoff at 7 o'clock from McMahon Stadium. And NHL awards season continuing as Montreal Canadiens star forwards take home a pair of awards. Nick Suzuki for the Selke Trophies, league's top defensive forward, while Cole Caulfield nabbed the Lady Byng as the most gentlemanly player in the league. Full slate of games across the majors yet again today, including the Blue Jays open a set back at home against the Orioles. First pitch coming just after 5 o'clock. It'll be Trey Savage on the hill for Toronto. You can catch that game right here on Sports 1440. Joined in progress at the conclusion of the Jason Gregor Show. Elsewhere, some matinee baseball. Cubbies hosting the Giants. Mariners are in Detroit later on. Yankees and Red Sox tee off in an all AL East matchup. And the LA Dodgers take on the Angels in SoCal. The Riverhawks continue their weekend road trip with a stop in Nanaimo for the first of 3. First pitch tonight, just after 7. Coming up on Sports 1440, it is the Lowdown with Low Tide. I'm Brandon Douglas, Liquor Sports 14.